June 13th, 2025, at 3 o'clock in the morning, 20 of Iran's most powerful military leaders gathered in a hall in Tehran, convinced they were confronting an imminent threat. Unaware, they were exactly where Israel wanted them. 15 minutes later, they would all be dead. But it was no stroke of luck. It was the culmination of a plan meticulously prepared over years. To understand how Israel lured those 20 generals to their own fatal destiny, we must go back to 1979, when Iran became an open adversary of Israel and a covert war began. At that time, Iran forged a ring of fire around Israel by funding Hamas, Hezbollah, and militias in Iraq, injecting hundreds of millions of dollars each year to turn terrorist groups into organized armies. Israel, for its part, did not stand idle. It adopted the doctrine of war between the wars, striking indirectly through air raids, sabotage, and targeted eliminations, all without ever formally declaring war. To outsiders, these acts seemed isolated incidents, but in reality, they were successive tests to refine their methods, especially by the Mossad. The Mossad, Israel's foreign intelligence service, is world famous for clandestine operations, intelligence gathering, threat neutralization, and missions the army cannot officially undertake. It is often likened to America's CIA, but with a reputation for even greater audacity and precision. In 1960, for example, Mossad agents captured Adolf Eichmann in Buenos Aires. One of the Holocaust's chief architects, living under a false identity, was tracked down in the street, arrested, and flown to Israel on a commercial plane, proving no enemy is beyond reach. However, it was in 2020 that Israel showcased its power in broad daylight. On January 3rd, at Baghdad International Airport, Qasem Soleimani, widely regarded as the Middle East's most dangerous man, stepped off a plane and in less than 30 seconds was dead. That general, commanding forces across 5 nations and believing himself untouchable, learned the hard way that no one escapes his enemy's reach. That US strike upended the rules of the game, but Israel watched every move, taking meticulous notes. Later that year, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, head of Iran's nuclear program, was eliminated in an unprecedented manner. Instead of sending assassins on foot, Israel deployed an AI-guided automated machine gun. The weapon was smuggled in parts, assembled inside a pickup truck positioned along the scientist's regular route. Mossad operators, thousands of kilometers away, monitored his convoy via satellite, and once facial recognition confirmed his identity, fired 15 rounds with surgical accuracy, spare his wife who accompanied him. Yet it was in September 2024 that Israel orchestrated one of the most sophisticated sabotage operations in modern history. Thousands of Hezbollah pagers and walkie-talkies exploded simultaneously in Lebanon and Syria, killing and wounding numerous fighters. Ironically, Hezbollah had abandoned cell phones for pagers, believing them secure, unaware Israel would turn that precaution into a deadly trap. Using a front company, Mossad supplied modified devices containing microcharges of PETN, an exceptionally powerful military explosive that is hard to detect. With a single signal, the enemy's own communication gear became weapons, crippling their logistics and giving Israel the chance to test its ability to coordinate mass, simultaneous strikes, an ability crucial for what came next. For decades, Israel had targeted Iran's nuclear program, one scientist here, one facility there, to delay its progress, believing an Iran with the bomb posed an existential threat. But on October 7th, 2023, Hamas's brutal assault proved incremental measures were insufficient. The threat had to be eradicated once and for all. The bold plan was to eliminate, in one stroke, the entire military hierarchy, the Revolutionary Guard leadership, and nuclear scientists. The challenge was immense. These leaders strictly avoided gathering in one place for security. How could they be brought together without suspicion? The answer lay in psychological warfare. For weeks, Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu staged a public showdown, preaching negotiations and granting Iran 60 days to talk, creating the illusion of de-escalation. This ruse inflicted cognitive paralysis, targeting commanders' minds rather than defenses. Meanwhile, Israel built a clandestine infrastructure inside Iran. Infiltrators, some dissidents opposed to the regime, crossed borders over months, planting arms caches, drone bases, guided missiles, and communication networks. Weapons were hidden in civilian shipments, broken into parts to evade detection. Safe houses and arms depots sprang up nationwide. Concurrently, artificial intelligence scanned intercepted communications and satellite imagery to map every target's routines, workplaces, and leisure spots, enabling detailed profiles. They even leaked images of agents in action to send a clear message: "We are inside your territory, and you didn't see us coming." All that remained was to compel the generals to convene. Infiltrators leaked false intelligence of a critical emergency, triggering an extraordinary military council that overrode all security protocols. At dawn on June 13th, the trap snapped shut. While 200 Israeli fighter jets soared toward Iran, ground agents activated hidden drones and missiles, first neutralizing Russian S-300 air defenses and early warning radars before they could issue any alert. With the skies open, the Israeli Air Force unleashed a devastating barrage. In 15 minutes, over 20 targets were struck simultaneously. From uranium enrichment facilities in Natanz and research centers in Isfahan to ballistic missile bases near Kermanshah and Tabriz, plus command and control hubs, blinding and crippling the regime's ability to respond. The coup de grace came when a precision missile struck the very room where the 20 commanders convened. Among the fallen were Major General Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff, Major General Hossein Salami, Head of the Revolutionary Guard, Brigadier General Esmail Ghani, in charge of external operations, and nuclear scientists Feridun Abbasi Davani and Mohammad Mehdi Teranchian. Israel didn't merely know the building, they knew each target's exact position within it, proof of extreme intelligence penetration, likely aided by agents inside or cutting-edge surveillance. The simultaneous elimination of an entire generation of Iran's strategic leadership created an unprecedented command vacuum. Despite the chaos, Iran attempted retaliation, launching hundreds of ballistic missiles and drones at Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Haifa in the following days. Most were intercepted by Israel's missile defense systems. Deprived of its senior leadership and launch sites in ruins, Iran fought like a blindfolded boxer with hands tied. Ironically, before the strike, Iranian officials vowed to open the gates of hell and launch up to 1,000 missiles. Ultimately, they fired only a fraction in a disordered and ineffective response. Most astonishingly, Israel executed the entire operation without any country, Russian intelligence or regional allies, suspecting a thing until the final moment. It demonstrated an unparalleled level of operational mastery. This was not just a military strike, it redefined modern warfare, proving that remotely piloted drones, facial recognition, and predictive analytics have moved from science fiction to the forefront of national defense. Above all, it showed that human ingenuity can outmatch any weapon.